That's a lock. I don't see this guy losing in any way that you can think of. What's up, motherfucker? Money, Moicano here. And today, we're going to talk about UFC 293. We have a lock, brother. We have a lock. Maybe two, you have to watch the video. But first, very important. Even before you watch the video, click the like button and comment for the algorithm, my brother. Help us. And always remember, don't bet. But if you do, use Wager Nation, okay? We have the link is on description, okay? Let's keep going, my brother. UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Good fight, good card, and I'm going to talk about the locks of the card. How do I think the fight is going to play out? Stay tuned. So, my brother, the first fight that I want to talk about is one lock. That's a lock. I don't see this guy losing in any way that you can think of. His name, Jamie Mullarkey. He's taller than the other guy. He's a better, I will not say better striker, but just the fact that he's taller and he know how to use his jab, even though he's not a great wrestler, great grappler, he's a decent striker, and he's going to fight against one of the smallest guy in the division. 5'8", for the lightweight is just crazy. John Makdessi, Canadian. He's fighting UFC for more than, I don't know how many years, 12 years or more. You know, he's a veteran in UFC, 38 years. He never beat a really solid guy. Let's be honest, John Makdessi. I think the only notable wins that he has on UFC for this long is Sam Stout, if I'm not mistaken, and I forgot the other name, but this is guys that are not fighting anymore. This is a long time ago, and especially him being Canadian, you know, not hate for the MMA in Canada right now, but he's not a GSP, my brother. He's not a GSP, you know, and let's be honest, UFC Australia, Jamie Mullarkey, Australian guy, and I think that's the lock of the card. The odds are not that bad. Good odds, especially if you put on a parlay. And I don't know, brother. John Makdessi, very short. He's aggressive, but he doesn't shoot for takedowns. And on the other hand, Mullarkey faced the better competition. He got beat by Brad Riddell. He got beat by Jalen Turner. They were on the top 15. So Jalen Turner is still on the top 10. Top in 12, something like that. I don't know. But guess what? I have Jamie Mullarkey winning that one, and he's probably not going to lose. But remember, be careful, my brother. This is MMA, and for me, this is the lock, but who knows? Other fight that I want to watch a lot, and I don't know if it's going to be a lock, but most likely Kape will win. You know, he's the number 10 right now on the UFC 125 division, the flyweight bout. And guess what? He's not losing to Felipe dos Santos. It's going to be his first fight in UFC. I saw the guy on UFC PI last week when I was in Vegas. He looked short. And remember, Kape fought Alexandre Pantoja in his debut. He lost, but he's very solid, my brother. Very solid striker, good takedown defense. And for you to do your debut against a Kape is just crazy. Just show how UFC is crazy, you know? You go to the UFC and you fight top dogs right away. And I don't see Kape losing for Felipe dos Santos. But guess what? That's not a fight that I would put on a parlay. Check the odds and make a money line bet on him. It is what it is, and I think he will win. After that, we have Tuivasa versus Alexander Volkov. Tuivasa, crazy striker. He has knockout power, but he's a little bit slow. He doesn't have a really explosive like style, you know. He's not that explosive. He's not a great athlete, let's say. And on the other hand, we have Volkov. And Volkov is taller, good striker, know how to keep the range. And if we see his record. So in UFC, he just lost to Derek Lewis. He was winning the fight easily. and he got knocked out like 10 seconds away from the finish of the fight. He lost to Curry Blades, a wrestler. He lost to Cyril Gane, unanimous decision, and he lost to Tom Aspinall. But he beat Rosenstruck, he beat Romanov, he beat Walt Harris, Alistair Overeem, Greg Hardy, Fabrício Verdun, Stefan Struve, Roy Nelson. Very, very solid striker in UFC. Very good fighter. And I have Alexander Volkov winning the fight, brother. Why? Because he's the better striker. Tuivasa is not great at wrestling, at grappling. I don't think he take his career that serious, you know. I don't think he's focused on the training. I feel just for being Russian, Volkov is more focused on training camp. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's the way I feel. Probably Alexander Volkov will win that fight, especially with these odds. He's minus 198. That's because they are heavyweights, and in a heavyweight fight, everything can happen, my brother. But I have Volkov winning that one, and we're going to the main event of the evening. Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. We know that fight was not supposed to be happening because that fight was supposed to be Adesanya versus Drico du Plessis, the best worst fighter of the whole world. But du Plessis is injured, so they are making the fight because Adesanya wants. And I don't know why UFC actually we know why, because you like him or not, Adesanya sell pay-per-views. I think UFC wants to make him a star. I don't know if he is on the same level of McGregor, of course not. But I think people like him. I don't know why. Sometimes he's just cringy, you know. I remember on the press conference when Sean Strickland was supposed to fight Pereira, but he was making fun of the Adesanya. I think that's going to be the whole week. We're going to see a lot of crazy stuff, and it's going to be awesome, my brother. You guys know, Adesanya always is like that. He pushes to, like he chooses his fights, especially in Australia with 1 month, and he pushed for the fight. We are having like a little bit of trouble because we didn't know if Sean Strickland would be on that card, but UFC made it happen. And now we have Adesanya versus Strickland in Australia. But I will be honest, I want Sean Strickland to win. I want. But that's not going to happen. And why, Moicano? Why do you think that? Man, I was watching Joe Rogan podcast with Sean Strickland, and he was saying like how tough his leg is, his hip is. He had an injury in a motorcycle accident, and the truth is, that's his words, not mine. His knee is blow up. He cannot like shoot for takedowns. He cannot check leg kicks. And against Adesanya, man, we saw times and times again Adesanya fighting Pereira. His style, he's a good striker. You cannot like him, but he gonna kick the leg. He gonna front kick him all the time. And I don't think Strickland have the style to beat Adesanya. Why? Because he relied too much on the jab. Jab. But Adesanya is longer than him and is a better striker than him. So he's going to keep distance and going to try to hurt Adesanya. And remember, Pereira is a monster. He knocked Adesanya out and he knocked Pereira out. But remember, Adesanya on the second fight got him and survived the storm, you know, survived the punches. And I don't know, man, in a matchup, I think Adesanya is minus 380 or something like that. On the UFC site, is minus 600. And he should be like that because that's going to be, I think Adesanya is going to expose Strickland weakness. That is the leg kicks and managing the distance, because the way Adesanya moves, like switching stances and like kicking all over the place, I think it's going to be an easy fight for Adesanya. Why? And that's funny because I was watching Sean Strickland fights back in the day before the accident, and you could see he has a decent jiu-jitsu, and I hope he pull this off, like, because let's be honest, when Adesanya fought Blachowicz took him down, even though he was bigger, you know, he was like the natural 205. He didn't do too much damage on Adesanya, even though Adesanya is not the best grappler. Far from that. And the funny thing is, Adesanya is saying, like lately, that he is going to finish, submit Sean Strickland. I'm curious on that, how that's going to play out. But one thing is for sure, he will abuse the leg kicks, abuse the front kicks, and he going be dancing and touching Strickland for 5 rounds if he didn't get the TKO. So that's a lock, man. And if you if you could do a parlay, I'm not a financial advisor, remember that, so that's not my advice. I am just wondering, my brother, if you get Adesanya, Volkov, and John Mullarkey, and Jamie Mullarkey in a parlay, that looks like money. But remember, there is no sure thing in fighting. That's why we love fighting, okay? I don't know. I just hope that's a good card, and I will do the full breakdown of the whole UFC 293 on Patreon. So if you want to check it out, the link is on the description. You support the channel. And Moicano, I don't want to only support the channel. I want to support your career. Let me tell you something, my brother. If you supporting the channel, you supporting my career. If you buying the merch, you helping me on the training camp, okay? So soon I will be fighting. Soon I will be back on the octagon, and I need your help, okay, my brother? So check the Patreon link, check the merch link, you know, very good stuff. Look at that, brother. You guys know, okay? So that being said, it's going to be a great card, and make sure you don't miss the Patreon and you don't miss any new videos on the channel. And how I do that, I'm going to tell you right now. You go to the notification button and you click on the bell and say turn the notifications on, so you don't miss when I'm going live and when I have a new video. That being said, thank you so much. Always remember, brush your teeth and peace out.